Guruve Gaurachandra Radhikaya Tadale Krishna Krishna Bhaktaya Tadabhaktaya Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Shivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo 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 Hare Hare. So, first of all, I give pranams to our Gurudev, Om Vishnupad, Sri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, our Shiksha Gurus, Sri Gaura Govinda Maharaj, Bhaktivedanta Madhusudan Goswami Maharaj, all devotees. Maybe we can move it closer. Thank you for coming. Pinehurst Festival. So, why sitting so far back? So, two parts of sadhana. Ek Vaidhi-bhakti to it to Kaka. Ek Vaidhi-bhakti or Ragunaga. Two types of Vaidhi-bhakti. One is two types of sadhana bhakti. Vaidhi-bhakti and Rag. So sadhana means that by which I follow to achieve my goal. So in that person's heart whose attraction to Krishna in the mood of the Brijabasis has not awoken, that person has to follow Vaidhi-bhakti. And by following Vaidhi-bhakti, when heart is purified in association of Rasik Vaishnavas, then Rag will come. No? So Vaidhi-bhakti is also part of Rupa Goswami's teachings. So if we want to be Rupanugas, we also have to follow all these things. The Vaidhi Sadhak also, the Raganuga Sadhak also follows most of these limbs of bhakti, only their mood is different. So can you remember, where's Padabhya? What are the first four limbs of devotion?
Take shelter.
Guru Padashraya, taking shelter of Gurudev.
Take initiation.
Diksha Shiksha Adigrahana, taking Diksha and Shiksha from Gurudev.
Serve with devotion.
Vishwambena Guru Seva, serving with affection. And
Following the
Sadhu Margana,
sadhus.
following the path of the sadhus. So, we were talking last night, scriptures there, even Raganuga also have some guidances there also in Raganuga. Not that Raganuga is devoid of all Shastra. And Rupa Goswami also given something for them. Just like I have greed for a lassi, for example. Then how do I get yogurt? No. Oh, lassi needs milk. How do I get milk? You need a cow. She has to be pregnant. She has to give birth to a baby. You have to milk her. You have to take care of cow. So even after the awakening of greed, some scripture also there to give some guidance how to fulfill that desire. So Vaidhi and Raganuga are pretty much same thing, only internal mood is different. Like Bhakti Vinod Thakur is chanting Harinam and Manorama is also chanting Harinam. It may look the same, but internal mood is the difference. So we were talking yesterday, we should also be careful which type of association we take. Just like you drink milk which is touched by snake, then that will kill you. So, we also should be careful in misunderstanding, no? In Rag Marg, there's only one rule: follow the path of the Brijabasis. So many people promote only that. But Rupa Goswami said no, because the inside body and the outside body both belong to Bhagavan. So both have to be used for his service. You cannot say, I'm internally serving Bhagavan. No. Because external body also belong to the Supreme Lord. No? Therefore, Rupa Goswami has seva sadhaka rupana siddha rupana chatrahi tad bhavita lipsata kaja braja lokanusarata. The devotee should follow outside like sadak, the rules of Vaidhi-bhakti, and internally, according to their greed, they will serve Krishna. So in recent times, there was one person named Rup Kaviraj. So he was very learned. Some say he took Diksha from Mukunda Goswami. Mukunda Goswami was disciple of Kaviraj Goswami. But anyhow, he also had connection to Hemlata Thakurani. She's the daughter of Srinivasacharya. So he was promoting no need any Vaidhi-bhakti. He was promoting in this sadak, in this body, we also have to follow Brijbasi. So he would like not doing a courtesy and many unregulated, means no need any Vaidhi-bhakti at all. This body and that body doing rag. So in a very unregulated way, he distorted the teachings of Rupa Goswami. So Hemlata Thakurani ripped his neck beads off. Only one strand is there. And Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur wrote against him in his commentary on Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. No? Therefore, we have to follow Rupa Goswami internally, also externally. Both is Rupanuga. Right? In bhajan of those who pursue the Rag Marg, there is no dependence upon the regulations of the Shriti, Smriti, or the Puranas, or the Pancharatra. In Rag Marg is simply dependent upon following the Lord's eternal associates of Vrindavan. No? But those who don't have that qualification, they have to follow Vaidhi-bhakti, as shown by Prahlad, Narad, Vyas, Sukadeva, and other Mahajans. No? So especially the Goswamis, Sanka Purvaka Nama Gana Natabi Kalavasane Kato, Nidra Hari Viharakadi Vijito Chatyanta Dina Chio. The Goswamis every day would chant a fixed number of Harinam. No? They would do a fixed number of Dandavats, like every day Raghunath Goswami. Padabja, how many Dandavats he would do? 1,000. Every day. We do one and So every day he would do 1,000 pranams to all the associates of Mahaprabhu, Radha Krishna, all the Leela places. He would chant fixed number of Harinam. Sometimes they would do Sankirtan and dance. So this way they conquered eating and sleeping. In this way they gave ideal example. Therefore, we should also follow this. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he also gave all these examples, no, how to follow. So this is Sadhu Marg Anusaraha. Sadhu Marg Anusaraha, following the path of the sadhus. Bhajan Riti Niti Prashna, questions about the process of bhajan. No? One time Gurudev was sitting there and everyone was sitting there like zombies in front of him. And Gurudev said, this is a very wrong thing. No? Don't remain, it's an offense to remain silent when sitting before Gurudev. It means some proper questions should be there. Sometimes people ask foolish questions and the Gurudev said, this is proof none of you are reading anything. Because you are not reading, you cannot think anything. This is also too much important, no? Unless there's some question, then we cannot hear any Harikatha. If there was no Arjuna asking his 16 questions, there would be no Bhagavad Gita. At Namasaranya, all the 60,000 sages came together. No. Then they were doing yagya, but because Kali Yuga had already began, and yagya was for Treta Yuga. So much swaha, so much doing oblations, all they got was smoke in their eyes and beards. Then Sutta Goswami came. Then they became very happy and they asked Sutta Goswami 6 questions. And the answer to those 6 questions is the Srimad Bhagavatam. So this is too much important. Some Bhajana Riti Niti. Niti means what is the process of bhajan. Actually, Niti means politics. What is the process? What is the system? What are the procedures of bhajana? Bhajana riti niti prashna. No? So, that is one of the qualifications of disciple. Krishna says, Tadvidi pratipatena pariprashnana seva. Disciples should have a mood of seva, a mood of inquiry, and a mood of service. No? So, number 6, Krishnat Akila Bhog Tyag. For Krishna we can give up all type of enjoyment. What's main enjoyment in life? Eating something, sleeping. But devotee can give up all that for Krishna's satisfaction. Akila Bhog Tyag. Actually, first time I'm seeing this. No? Gurudev would always say, Akila Bhog Tyag, Akila Chesta Parayan. For Krishna we can give up anything. And for Krishna's happiness we can perform any activity. You know? So this is also. Like devotee, how give up all enjoyment by offering their food to Bhagavan, then control the tongue. No? Waking up early, mostly, taking bath. This way we also give up all enjoyment for satisfaction of Krishna. So, 7, Tirthavas, residing in the holy places. Every place has its influence. Just like when Yudhisthira Maharaj went to heavenly planets. Then he said to his mother Kunti, Mother, don't mind, but I'm having some sexual attraction to you. And Kunti said, it's not your fault, son, it's influence of this. Why don't you come forward a bit, Padabji? You're like 10 miles back. Thank you. Manorama's had her shots, don't worry. So, influence of the place. No, it's not your fault, it's influence of the place. Very famous is one boy called Shravan Kumar. He would always carry his parents in a basket. In this way he moved everywhere to all holy places. So, in Mahabharata it described, he crossed the border of India and came to Thailand. And what's Thailand famous for? Manorama? Oh, I thought you were going to say culture and music.
Cheese lasagna.
Even today we know what Thailand is mostly famous for. So as soon as he crossed the border of India and came to Thailand, his mind changed. Influence of the place. So then he was saying, what I'm doing, carrying around these old guys, just wasting my life. I could be doing so many better things. In this way, he wanted to abandon his parents and go and enjoy. But his father could understand it's not his fault, it's the influence of the place. Therefore he said to his son, no problem, you abandon, just take us back across the river and leave us there. So he did. As soon as he crossed the river, he forgot his previous desire and kept on like normal. That's why who want to do bhajan should try to avoid sinful places like California. So if we're stuck in these places, still should understand bhajan here and bhajan in the holy places will not be the same because influence of the place. Like Ajamil, he was very good Brahmana. He saw the face of one lusty girl. What happened? He lost everything. And Gurudev said, how many we're seeing every day? Especially go to LA or something. No? So, one should try to live in the sacred place. No? If we cannot live there, don't know why you're so much anxious to live in America. Should have greed, I should stay in Vrindavan. At least, otherwise you stay here 10 years and get green card. By then, what will happen? Did you not be in this world? No guarantee. So one should live in a sacred place. No? And of course, living in a sacred place means what? That means associating with the sadhus who live there, the real sadhus. No? So it said, Samvatsaram vu sanmasam masam masardanam evava. By living in Dwarka for 1 year, 6 months, 1 month, or even 15 days, any man or woman assumes a 4-handed form and goes to Vaikuntha, even 15 days. No? What to speak of Jagannath Puri? It says here in the Brahma Puran, the demigods from the celestial planets see anyone who lives 10 yojanas, what's that? 80 miles, 80 square miles of Jagannath Puri. Everyone there has a four-handed form, including the insects and the donkeys. That's the power of entering that place. So, Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, anyone who resides within the 32 square mile radius of Navadvip, then all the 7 holy places live there. Of all the 7 holy cities in India, Mayapur is the topmost. It said, Ekratri Nivasinim Hari Bhakti Pravajayat, who spends even one night in Mathura never sees the womb of a mother again. So, those who are capable should try to live in the holy places. And those who are incapable should try to hear the glories of that place. Now Jagannath's retired, where should Jagannath live? Jagannath's thinking, I'll go to Mandala, live there. Life is short, how much time we have left. No? So, when the time is ripe, they may attain the good fortune to reside in the holy place. You have a room there, you have everything. Little difficult. But in Kali Yuga, a good thing is always difficult. So, Swabhakti Nirvaharana Rupa Bhojanadi Swikaram. Accepting only what is required for the sustenance of bhakti. Are peanut-flavored pretzels necessary for life? So, we should not be too much greedy. No? That is our mistake. No? If we don't have enough, we suffer. Sometimes lack of wealth causes disturbance in bhajan. If you have no money, you cannot afford food, accommodation, then this also disturbs the mind. So too much, give disturbance. Too little, give disturbance. No? Also, you have too little, then you sort of become like a parasite, sucking off others. I need this, I need that. You disturb yourself, disturb others. So if anyone wanted to live in Vrindavan, Gurudev always say, can you maintain yourself? You have to have enough. So too little is disturbance. Too much is also too much disturbance. So, an intelligent person should accept only as much wealth as required in order to be steadfast for one's obligations. So too much, no good. Too little, also no good. Like Mahamantra. More. How can I collect more and more? Not good. No? So also that wealth should be earned in honest means. No? Means which contaminated money is not good. No? So also sadhu should not accept alms from sinful persons. Like did you see, too much careful before accepting. Rarely accept, but if she does accept, then too much careful, think this person is proper or not. No? I said one time there was a story that one prostitute who lived in, it's always a prostitute. She was living in Jaipur somewhere. And she started hearing the glories of bhajan. Then she realized my life is not proper. She wanted to renounce that lifestyle. So all the money she gained from her activities, then she donated for a big feast for Govindadev. Then all the sadhus came for the feast and they all took the prasad. Nighttime they all had bad dreams, sexual nature. And they were all too much upset. Now we finished. And they complained to Bhagavan. This money came from prostitute, but this was your prasad. So nighttime, Gurudev would tell this katha. Nighttime, Govindadev appeared in the minds of every single devotee who ate the feast. I know, he said, I can digest that, but you cannot. So even prasad, have to be a little careful. So-called prasad, who's cooking, who's distributing, where the money came from. That's why Didi, even though we live in Vrindavan, she not like us to take prasad outside because many things to consider. No? So sadhaks should earn wealth by proper manner, not by deceiving or cheating people. No? So it's beneficial for them to accumulate wealth only in proportion to their needs. Of course, if you have wife and children, then you'll need more. No? If one is anxious to seize more than he requires, attachment will come which will destroy bhajan. If one accepts less than he needs, this will also be detrimental. So have to be a little balanced. Okay. So 8. Swabhakti nirvaharana rupa bhojanadi swakaram. Remember? Only accept that what I need. Ekadasi brat, too much important. So these first 10 are what is favorable for the devotion. Doing Ekadasi at all?
Okay.
Every time?
Sometimes I mix it up.
No. Gurudev said every sinful activity has a method of purification except the sin of missing Ekadasi. Don't miss. No. So, the Ekadasi begins 96 minutes before sunrise and continues until sunrise the following day with no mixing, overlapping. This is called Sudha Ekadasi. Anyway, also many rules for Ekadasi. Gurudev here giving all the rules, no? Right? All the rules of Ekadasi are also there. When is Ekadasi? If the Ekadasi is overlapping with the next day, it's a mixed Ekadasi, right? Brid Ekadasi.
If the previous
Titi is mixed with the next day, the Dasami, it's mixed. With the Dwadasi.
If Dashami is mixed with Ekadasi, meaning it starts Dashami.
Then it's okay.
No, if Dashami is mixed. And
okay, if Dasami mixed with the Ekadasi, then it's mixed Ekadasi, we don't fast. So all rules are there for when is Ekadasi, when to break the fast. So according to sunrise is in local position, right? Now is sunrise here, but in New York sunrise is a different time. So the rules of when is Ekadasi change according to the location, local location.
That's what Gurudev followed.
When Gurudev, ISKCON, because when Prabhupada first came to the West, how's he going to do all this stuff, right? So that time, he's just using one date for everyone. But as time developed, then situation changed. Now you have temples all over the world. So ISKCON inquired from Gurudev. And Gurudev said you should follow Ekadasi according to local times. Even ISKCON changed their ideas and began following Gurudev's ideas for Ekadasi. It's all here very clearly, no? But now some persons of, what should I say? Some person to think they know better, Premananda's group, now they're not following what Gurudev said. Oh, now Ekadasi depends on Mayapur time, what time we break the fast. Okay, according to Mayapur time, when it's sunrise in Mayapur, it's midnight or something here. Then you're going to wake up at midnight and start doing Ekadasi. Anyway, even basic things they cannot follow. Basic, fundamental
It's all listed
principles.
in Hari-bhakti Vilas.
Hari-bhakti, one time Padabj and I went and did a lot of research. All there in Hari-bhakti Vilas, the rules of Ekadasi. These days, who cares what Gurudev said, right? So Ekadasi is so much important. It's the Gurudev said who do not follow Ekadasi, they are not Vaishnavas. So you can only imagine what category these fellows are now falling into. And it's so much important. Madhav Titi, the day of Madhav, Bhakti Janani, the mother of devotion. When Gurudev would give initiation, he wouldn't give too many rules. Chant Harinam, follow Ekadasi. That much important. So, right, Gurudev talks all here about the mixed titis. To honor the day of Lord, to honor Ekadasi properly, one should observe celibacy. On the day of Ekadasi, one should fast from water and remain awake through the entire night, performing bhajan. On the next day, he should break the fast at the appropriate time. Okay, If we cannot do that, incapable, then you can take some roots and fruits called anukalpa. But on no
grains.
We should never accept grains. No? In Kali Yuga, because Guru Maharaj said Ekadasi is not a day. Ekadasi is Krishna himself. Krishna has become the Titi. So the day of Ekadasi is not just a day on the calendar, it's Krishna himself. So because Ekadasi is so pure, then Pap Purush, sin personified. There's descriptions of abortion is his stomach, and cow killing is his right hand, and stealing from Brahman is his left hand. His eyes are from top to bottom. His body is made of sin. So he went to Krishna. No, give me some place. I have no place on Ekadasi. Then Krishna said, you can reside in food grains. So corn, wheat, rice. It's not just food grains. It's sin personified. So 9, and finally 10. Offering respects to the Tulsi, the Banyan, the cows, the Brahmanas, and the Vaishnavas. This is called Vaishnav Saman. So these first 10 are things which must be done, favorable. Also we see Didi and all Gurudev Vaishnavas doing all these limbs of devotion. So, now 10 things which are unfavorable, things which must be done, things which must be avoided.
Before you go into that, can you mention what 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 are again?
Okay, Padamji. Taking shelter of the feet of Gurudev, taking Diksha and Shiksha from him, Vishwambena Guru says, serving with affection, following the path of the sadhus. All right? 1 minute. Akila Chesta, giving up questions about the procedures of bhajan.
That's 5.
Bhajan Riti Niti Prashna. 6, renouncing everything for Krishna's enjoyment. 7, to reside in the holy place. 8, accept only what is required for bhakti. 9, Ekadasi Brat. And 10 was respecting Brahmanas, Tulsi tree, Vaishnavas. Got them all? For $2,000, which Jagannath will provide. What are the 10 first limbs of devotion? Adabja.
First one is taking shelter of Guru.
Loudly.
Taking shelter of Guru.
Okay.
Taking initiation from
Right.
Guru Days. Serving with affection.
Right.
Following the sadhus.
Following the path of the sadhus. Okay.
5.
Jagannath's getting nervous. Come on.
Well, it's 9 is following Ekadasi. I remember that one.
Keep your money. Right. 5 was some inquiry about bhajan. 6, giving up all enjoyment for Krishna's satisfaction. Not accepting too much. Following Ekadasi.
What is
10.
favorable only?
Huh?
Unfavorable, favorable to do? No? No.
10 was offering respects to the Brahmanas, the Tulsi plants, the banyan trees, etc. So 11, giving up association of non-devotees. 12, renouncing the desire to recruit many disciples. 13, give up too many undertakings. Even so many big, huge festivals. Don't do. Bahushastra Vyaka, don't read too many scriptures just to give silly arguments. Give up miserly behavior. Give up lamentation, anger, etc. Give up blasphemy of the demigods. Giving up harassment of other living entities. Adabja. Give up offenses in regards to service and Harinam. One should not tolerate blasphemy of Gurudev or the Vaishnavas. If one is capable, one should give punishment to the offenders. If one is unable to punish them, he should cover their ears and leave that place. Okay. 21, adopting the outward signs of a Vaishnav, like, what's this called? Where's your neck beads?
It was
How many years ago?
like 2. I broke it.
Adopting the outward signs of a Vaishnav. If we cannot become adopting the outward signs of a Vaishnav.
What is that?
Outward signs to look like.
Oh.
If we cannot become devotee inside, at least become one outside. No. 3 strings of tulsi beads, not 1 or 2. No. Tilak, and Vaishnav dress. So these things also limb of devotion. To wear the letters of the, sometimes people stamp their bodies with Krishna's names. Accept what is used by the deity, like flower garlands. To dance before the Lord. Dandavat pranamam, to offer dandavats, also limb of bhakti. To rise from your seat when great persons all rise. Like when the deity is open and you're sitting there, you should stand up. To follow behind the deity of the Lord, some festivals. To visit the place where the murti is established, to visit the temples. Parikram, puja or archan, to worship the deity. To serve the Lord, parichaja geet, to sing sankirtanam, to sing together. Japa, stavapat, to offer prayers to the Lord. Mahaprasad seva. What was that one, Padabja?
Mahaprasad Seva.
Vigyapati, to offer some submission or prayers. We're doing all these mostly every day, mostly. Chanamrita Pan. In ISKCON I do every morning, but we're not doing so much. Dup Malya, garlands and incense offered to Bhagavan. We can smell that. Murti Darshan. Murti Sparshan, to touch the deity. Shravanam, to hear. Tat Kripa Apekshanam, to wait for the mercy of the Lord. When will I not be defiled? When the mercy of the Lord will be there, it's probably His mercy. We're not seeing all those guys. That's His mercy. Funny, huh? What's Bhagavan's mercy? We don't understand. Bhagavan's mercy is that I'm banned. That's His strong mercy.
No trespassing.
Sometimes we don't understand what is mercy. Right? There was one king, and he had a servant. Anything happened, the servant always said, mercy of Bhagavan. Anything, good and bad, mercy of Bhagavan, mercy of Bhagavan. You know the story, right? What? Say the story. So one day the king was bitten on the little finger by a snake, a poisonous snake. What to do? The servant took out a knife, immediately amputated the digit. Otherwise the poison goes to the whole body, you die. No? So the king was obviously in so much pain. Imagine having your finger cut off. And the servant said, don't worry, king, is mercy of Krishna. You don't know this story. Come on, this is a family favorite. So the king was in so much pain. This is mercy of Krishna. He became angry. You little rascal, throw him in the jail. So the servant was chucked in jail. And as he was being locked away, he said, mercy of Krishna. The king put it out of his mind, and a few days later they went hunting. Then the king was somehow captured by some criminals. They wanted to do human sacrifice. They're about to chop off his head. The king went, no. Hey, wait, he's only got 9 fingers. We cannot make such an imperfect offering to the demigoddess Kali. So they spared him. And the king was weeping, yes. I lost my finger, but that is mercy of Krishna. Otherwise, I would have lost my life. So he went back to the servant and released him from jail. Then the servant said, mercy of Krishna. Then the servant heard the story. You don't know the story. You know the story, right? The king asked, okay, I had my finger cut off. That is mercy of Krishna. But I put you in jail. How is that mercy of Krishna? Then servant said, I am always with you, king. So if you are captured by the criminals, I am also captured. You have 9 fingers, but I have. So if I was with you, I would have been executed. I am not with you is mercy of Krishna. Anyway, sometimes we cannot really understand what is mercy. Maybe later we will understand. So, 40. Murti darshan, to see the deity, to touch the deity, hearing, to expect the mercy of the Lord, smaran, to remember Bhagavan, dhyan, to meditate on Bhagavan, das, to become the servant, to become the friend, to offer oneself. This is 9 limbs of devotion mentioned by Prahlad. Offering one's dear objects to Bhagavan. The things in this world which one likes best should be accepted and offered to Bhagavan. What thing you like best, Manorama?
Being here right now.
Your miserable independence. Anyway, what we like best, that should be offered.
All of us independent.
If we don't offer what we like best, that thing can also destroy us. Like, there's a nice story. There was one, Satyabhama's father. His name was Satyaki. No. Look up Satyabhama's father. Anyway, he was a great devotee of the sun god. Then sun god Suryadev was so happy he gave him a special jewel called a Shamantaka. Satyaki was his name. No, not Satyaki. Padabja will find. So this jewel would every day produce like 10, 20 kilos of gold. And wherever the jewel was, there was no disease, many magic effects. So he was very happy with his jewel. One day he came to see Krishna and he was wearing this jewel. Satyajit, thank you. Yep. So the god told Krishna, oh Krishna, the sun god, Suryadev has personally come to Dwarka to see you. And Krishna smiled. This is no Suryadev, this is Satyajit. But wearing this jewel, he became effulgent like the sun god. So Satyajit came in, he did pranam to Krishna, did pranam especially to Ugrasen, the king. Then Krishna said, oh Satyajit, one's dearest possession should be offered to the king. So please give us the Shamantaka jewel. Then Satyajit was like, no. And he thought Krishna was very greedy. Why he want my Shamantaka jewel? But a Shamantaka jewel is very limited in power. It only gives you 10 kilos of gold a day. But in Goloka Vrindavan, Krishna, the dust is made of Chintamani. Right? If you take one Chintamani jewel and say, oh, Chintamani jewel, I won 100,000 Shamantakas, it can give you in 1 second. But you pray to a Shamantaka, give me a Chintamani, you cannot. So, I mean, the dust of Goloka Vrindavan made of stones which are billions of times more opulent, more mystical than one Shamantaka jewel. So Satyajit thought Krishna was greedy, so he not gave. But Krishna not greedy because he have millions and millions of these things. So Satyajit kept it. And that thing he kept and not offered to Bhagavan, that thing destroyed him. How? Satyajit had a brother named Prasena. So he gave the jewel to Prasena, who went horseback riding. As he was horseback riding, his horse was attacked by a lion, who killed him and the horse and took the jewel. The great devotee Jambavan, who was a bear, he killed the lion and took the jewel from the lion. And he gave it to his son to play with. So meanwhile, Prasena was killed, and everyone, Satyajit and others started a rumor, Krishna has killed him. He wanted the jewel, he didn't get, he must have stabbed him in the dark. So even poor Krishna was getting criticized for something he didn't do. Krishna showing this world is like that. So Krishna, to clear his name, he took all the Dwarkabasis, they followed the hoof prints of the horse. They came across Prasena dead. Oh, they saw the lion footprints. Oh, he's killed by a lion, not by Krishna. Then they saw the dead lion. Then they followed the hoof prints of the bear. What was the name of the bear?
Jambavan.
Lucky guess. So, Jambavan's cave was very dark. And Krishna went in alone. Means all the Dwarkabasis too afraid to go with Krishna. That's the difference between the love of the Dwarkabasis and the love of Brijbasis. When Krishna went into the mouth of Agasur, all coward boys went with him. They cannot give up Krishna for a second. Then Krishna saw Jambavan's child playing with the jewel. So he took it up, he snatched it. The child began crying. Then the nursemaid saw Krishna, she became afraid and screamed. Then Jambavan came. Who's this black fellow in my who's this black fellow in my cave? So why he took the jewel belonged to my son. They started fighting. 27 days they fought. 27 days. But still no Dwarkabasi came in to help Krishna. Everyone out. In fact, they all went home. We've been here, it's dark, let's go. They left. 27 days they fought. And Krishna's punches so hard. Jambavan felt pain in his whole body. And he thought, who can defeat me like this? Jambavan's so powerful. Who can give me this much pain? Then he thought, only one person can, my Prabhu Ram. Then he realized, he prayed to Krishna who showed him, I'm Ram. Then Jambavan felt so bad, I'm fighting with my Prabhu. How can I reconcile? He gave Krishna the Shamantaka jewel. He gave also his other jewels, his daughter Satyabhama. Then Krishna came back to Dwarka with new wife. So then Krishna gave the jewel back to Satyajit. There you go, buddy. You're so much attached to it. Take it. Then Satyajit felt shame because he criticized Krishna for no reason. Krishna didn't kill Prasenna or anything like that. So for no reason he blaspheming Krishna and causing all this disturbance. So Krishna said, take it back. So Satyajit, Akrura and someone else. What was his name? If you look at their 10th canto. No? One man was very angry because Satyajit had promised Satyabhama to him in marriage. I forget his name. Kali-yuga mind. Anyway, so he was very angry at Satyajit because he promised Satyabhama to him in marriage, but he ended up giving to Krishna. So Akrura and another person turned this guy against Satyajit. Hey man, he so much disrespected you. Everyone know you were going to marry Satyabhama, and look what he did. So this guy killed Satyajit. What was his name? Ask, who killed Satyajit? So anyway, he killed him and took the jewel. Then he became too much afraid. Now I've not just killed Satyajit, I've killed Krishna's father-in-law. So he became so afraid what to do with his jewel, so he gave it to Akrura. And then he ran away. Anyway, so Krishna chased him. He ran to Nepal. He had a horse that could run day and night. The horse died on the border of Nepal. Krishna ran by foot, caught him and killed him, searched him, he could not find the jewel because Akrura had the jewel. Then Akrura, because of offense to the Brajabasis, taking Krishna and Balaram without permission, he went to Varanasi. So the point is, this thing was so dear to Satyajit, but what was, it was the cause of his destruction. No? So what's very dear to oneself, one should give that. No? Krishnati samast karma karmana karanam. Performing all activities for the sake of Krishna. Saranapati, full surrender. Tulsi seva. Vaishnav Shastra seva. One should serve the Vaishnav scriptures. No need to write your own rubbish, right? Gurudev has so many nice books, help with that. The restoration of, careful keeping of, publish and propagation of Vaishnav Shastra is also one of the limbs of devotion. Mathura Mandal Vas, residing within Mathura.
But wasn't that mentioned earlier?
What?
in the first 10, residing in the Holy Dome or something?
Yeah. No, that was Tirthavas, residing in the Tirtha. This is residing in the Dham. So two places. Mathura Mandal Vas, residing within the district of Mathura. That means Vrindavan, Gokul, Nandagaon, Vashana, Radhakund, Shamkund, etc. Number 56, Vaishnav Sevana, service to the Vaishnavas. Kartik Vrat, observing the vow of Kartik. Coming this year? Just say yes. I hope to come. I want to come, okay?
I want to come.
There we go. To celebrate Janmashtami? No. To serve the Murti with faith? Taste the meaning of the Bhagavatam in the association of Rasik Vaishnavas? Associate with like-minded, affectionate, advanced devotees? So you see, many of these are also in the Raganuga Bhakta also. Always hearing Bhagavatam, the Raganuga Bhakta living in Vrindavan. The Raganuga Bhakta always reading the Shastras. Raganuga Bhakta serving with faith. Also taking shelter of Gurudev. No. Kartik Vrat. So you see most of the limb, Tulsi Seva, all these things, the Raganuga devotee also doing. No? Associating with affectionate sadhus, Nam Sankirtan, and, oh, so many pages on that. Vrindavan Vas, residing in Vrindavan.
Vrindavan is within Mathura.
Still. Still.
So you said 3 times we should write.
Reside in the Tirtha, reside in Mathura Mandal, reside in Vrindavan. You may be residing in Mathura Mandal but not residing in Vrindavan.
Okay.
Maybe you're in Raj, maybe you're in Mathura or something like that. Keshi. What's it called? Faridabad is also inside Mathura Mandal, but it's not Braj.
Really?
Yeah.
But it was outside.
64 square miles is the area of Mathura Mandal. It's quite big. So just to be more specific, right? These are all Rupa Goswami's teachings. And quickly, he also talks about Sevaparad. Do this, don't do this. So we may be doing a lot of Seva, but you're doing offense. It's like filling up a bucket full of water which has holes in it. Chirikrama used to say, plug your holes. So we can hear all this. Many times we don't know. 32 offenses to be avoided in Seva. To enter the temple wearing shoes. To enter the temple seated on a palanquin. That's not going to happen to us probably. To disrespect or fail to observe the festivals of one's cherished deity, especially like Guru Puja, this Janmashtami, especially, Didi said 4 or 5 days a year, just don't do anything. Gurudev's Vyas Puja, Param Gurudev's, Prabhupada's, like this Gaur Purnima, Baladev Purnima. We should try to minimize everything. No? So to not observe these days is one offense. No, to see the deity and not do dandavats. Offer prayers without washing hands and mouth after eating. Offer prayers to the Lord in an unclean state. Offer obeisances with one hand, many devote dandavats. That means also chanting. Many people chant and keeping the japamala, they do dandavats. This is one offense. You're doing obeisances with one hand. One time I did it, and Gurudev saw, he said, don't do like this. Take off, and he did it. Took off japamala, put round neck, and do the obeisances proper. 95% of devotees, Hare Krishna, and they do. That means you're putting the japamala on the floor. That means you're chanting with one hand and doing obeisance with one hand.
What if you put it on your head?
Then you're still doing it with one hand. If you're going to do obeisances, do it properly. Take off the mower. Many people say Didi does with one hand. When? No, anyway, we're not her. Didi also wakes up 1 o'clock in the morning. Do that as well. Don't do obeisances with one hand. Show one's back to the Lord when you go around to turn your back to the deities. To spread one's feet in front of the deities. To sit in front of the deities like this. God bless you. To lie down in front of the deity. To eat in front of the deity. That's why we always close the curtain. To tell lies in front of the deity. Done that, Padabja? Ever done that? Tell lies in front of the deity?
No, never.
Come on. The deities are right in front of us.
Where?
To speak loudly before the deity. Right? To chastise someone in front of the deity. Not good. To converse with one another about mundane subject matters before the deity. Is that us, Padabja, when we watch Fox News at night with the deities in front of us?
No, they were close.
He loves Fox News.
You wanted to know about what was happening.
Only because I was with Lakshman for 6 weeks. 16. To shed tears on account of some earthly matter before the Lord. To show affection or to chastise someone in front of the deity. To speak harshly in front of the deity. Jagannath, you can have deities at home and just always stay near them, you'll be safe.
Have you ever chastised somebody in front of the deity?
Probably. Should not, though. Have I? Did I chastise you once?
The deity's right there.
No, they're not. They're in the van. They're in the white trash heaven. 19. To wear a coarse blanket in front of the deity. Many wake up in the same blanket wear to Aarti. Don't do. To blaspheme others in front of the deity. They include the festival managers. To praise others. To use obscene language before the Lord. To pass wind before the deity. Even you have nice things, offering second-class things to the deity. To eat food items not offered to the Lord. To not offer the Lord fruits and flowers that are in season. To personally enjoy the first portion of anything without presenting it to the Lord. To sit with one's back to the deity. To offer obeisances to others in front of the deity. Even Guru should not do. Like Guru Puja, don't do in front of the deities even. To remain silent in front of the spiritual master. Like we said, should ask some questions, something, or some pranams. To praise oneself before the deities, to slander the demigods. These are 32 seva aparats. There are some others mentioned in the Vraha Purana. To eat grains supplied by the king. To touch the deity where the room is dark. To approach the deity without following the scriptural regulations. To open the door of the deity room without making any sound, like they ring a bell or they knock. To collect items which have been left by a dog. To break one's silence at the time of worshipping the deity, doing bath and talking at the same time. To go out in order to evacuate at the time of worship. To offer incense without offering scents and flower garlands. He doesn't care. Okay. To worship without cleaning one's teeth, to worship the Lord. After sexual intercourse without bathing. To worship the deity after touching a woman in menstruation. Or a dead body. To worship the Lord wearing red cloth, like bright red. To worship the deity wearing unwashed cloth. Many rules, no. To worship the deity after seeing a dead body, should take bath. To pass wind while worshiping the Lord. To worship in anger. To worship after visiting the cremation ground, should take bath. while having indigestion, or to touch the deity after oil massage. To commit any of these activities is offense. Also to chew betel before the Lord, to worship the deities with forbidden plants or flowers like castor oil or marijuana flowers or even this hibiscus. To worship at forbidden times, like solar eclipse and all these things. To worship while sitting on a four-legged wooden stool, to worship the deity without sitting on an asan, to touch the deity with the left hand at the time of bathing, to use old flowers, to spit, to think I am great, to wear curved tilak, to worship without washing one's feet, to offer food grains to the Lord cooked by a non-Vaishnav. That include butternut pretzels. To worship the deity in the presence of non-Vaishnav. That's why they always close the curtains. To bathe don't touch water with the fingernails that you use to bathe the Lord. When the body is covered by perspiration, don't step over the offerings of the Lord. And to make a vow in the name of the Lord, don't do. Many, many other seva aparads are there. Nama aparad is also mentioned by Rupa Goswami here. We'll finish Vaidhi-bhakti today, and tonight we can. What are the 10 Nama aparads, Padabja?
To commit offenses against the Vaishnavas.
To beat the Vaishnavas, to slander them, to bear malice or envy to them, to fail to welcome them, to be angry with them, to not feel happiness upon seeing them. If we went there today, would they feel happy?
Some.
Only the ones with handguns. By the 6 Vaishnava aparad, one falls down. So to consider the demigods equal or separate from Bhagawan, to consider Gurudev to be ordinary person, to slander the Vedic scriptures, consider the praise of Harinam to be exaggerated. One time there was Gurudev, one spiritual master had left and the main disciple was looking after the ashram. That time someone died. So the in charge, he wrote the Mahamantra on a slate, washed the slate with water, again wrote Mahamantra in chalk, washed the slate, 3 times he did. And that water he put on the dead body who came to life again. When Gurudev came back, he became angry. Why you did 3 times? Get out. No, Srimati didn't think that was funny. Why do 3 times? 1 time was enough. So to consider the glories of Harinam to be exaggerated, to give unauthorized or misleading explanation of Harinam, to engage in sinful activities again and again, thinking Harinam will purify me. Manorama doing? Puffing on the ganja?
No.
Haribol.
Thanks for asking.
Thanks for asking, but no.
Very good. So this is also aparad again. Oh, Harinam will purify me again and again, doing the same thing. Not to think any other pious or religious activity equal to Harinam. To initiate faithless persons in Harinam. Oh, he has a lot of money. I'll make him my disciple. Despite hearing so much the glories of Harinam, still not developing affection. So these 10 offenses must be avoided. One should be very attentive to avoid all type of seva aparad, all type of Vaishnava aparad, all type of nam aparad. So there is very serious, we are all doing a little bit of aparad, definitely. But our offenses are not so serious, it's throwing us from the path of bhakti. No, but very serious Vaishnava aparad, then your bhakti will be stopped. Or you'll lose everything. So, sadhak should be very vigilant not to commit any seva aparad while worshipping the deity. That's why mostly doesn't give us chance for any type. That kindness, because we're picking nose and doing all this stuff. So be very careful in all type. Seva parad which are committed unknowingly in the course of service are mitigated by wholehearted surrender to Krishna. No? Tumas Hadistana parad tada harinam. If we offend Krishna, then we can chant and be forgiven. But Vaishnava parad, Krishna cannot forgive that. No? The holy name mercifully forgives all one's offenses committed in service. Therefore, Harinam is even more merciful than the Vigraha. Right? In spite of taking shelter of Harinam, one is inattentive, then his fall down is assured. So this is description of Vaidhi-bhakti. Okay. If we commit offenses while doing Vaidhi-bhakti, we cannot become elevated. No? So, Niraparadana loy tide paita permadan. One may chant for millions of lifetimes, would keep doing Seva parad, Nama parad, Vaishnava parad, Dham, 10 offenses to the Dham. Many lifetimes may be spent, but cannot get prema. So I said, anyway, did one song there, Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, I cannot remember. No? Give up Harinam and take shelter of prema. That which has been ascertained in Shastras to be duty is called Vidhi. That which is forbidden is called Nishad. No? And what's the essence of all Vidhi and Nishad? Remember Krishna. Always remember Krishna, that is Vidhi. Don't forget him, that is called Nishad. No? So, Smatavyo satato Vishnu vishmatave majutiti. Sarva Vidhi Nishad sur eteyo evakinkaram. All the Vidhi, which we've discussed, all the Nishad, the different types of Nama Parad and Seva Parad and Vaishnava Parad. What's the essence of both? Remember Krishna. No. So by taking darshan of the Lord, by hearing the pastimes of Krishna, as described in the 10th canto, a lobe, a greed may awaken in the heart. That time one can begin on the path of Raganuga Bhakti. So we will also hear about that beginning from tonight. And this is pretty much half of the first eastern direction of Rupa Goswami's Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Any questions?
Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu Bindu? Okay.
Same thing.
Oh. You spoke.
This is the condensed version of the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Go Premanandi.
So all the prohibitions we should put them in the shed. In the shed.
Mm-hmm.
No, nishad, don't do. Prohibitions means don't do it. Right? Prohibition, don't do. What was your question?
Throw them out of the shed.
Thank you for that, Jewel. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.